Hey guys, this is Mr. Bay, graphic design class, and we're going to start the button project process. So we're going to have to learn how to take images off of the cloud, which is in Microsoft Office. It's in Outlook. I'll show you how to do that. Then you're going to take the graphic and you're going to piece some things together so that you can make a button. Okay. So I'm going to show that demonstration. And so right now you should be looking at my screen, or you will be here in just a second. So let's go ahead and make this happen. So let's just go ahead and minimize this out of the way. So now we're looking at the computer screen. And so go to your email. So open up your email, go to Microsoft Office 365. And I already have it open because I'm trying to knock down on some of the lag time in opening up these programs. One of the reasons is this is system 7 instead of system 10, and it's a little slower. So I'm trying to speed up the process just a bit. My next thing is the waffle. If you go over here to the left, the far left, okay? So I'm going to kind of signify where I'm at over here so you can see. But Outlook, go to the little waffle, and inside there it says OneDrive. OneDrive is where everything is stored, okay? So that's where you find all your templates. And if you look, you've got graphic design templates, and you have access to the graphic design templates. So I've gone ahead and created templates that you can work with to help you quicken the design process. So this is the work folder. Open the work folder. Inside the work folder, you'll find all the different folders. If you look, you know, Adobe Illustrator projects, billboard poster, bird magazine, button project, cereal box design. So they're all there. All the projects that we've done forever, seems, are in there. So let's go to the button project. Inside of templates, you want to go to the templates. Okay. So I've already made you some templates, and this is the template you want to go to, the thumbnail. Everybody say thumbnail. Okay, it's the smallest in the beginning design process. It's the idea stage. Well, sometimes you might come up with 20, maybe even 40 ideas. The thought process for that is if we're going to do a milk, okay, and that milk is, I see. Let me think a second. First thing, milk products. Okay. So what's the first idea or concept that comes out in your mind? Talking about milk. Well, some of you guys might say, well, cows. And that's the first thing that everybody comes up with. Or maybe a farm, a barn, you know, something like that. Well, just letting you know, yeah, that process, if you don't start having multiple ideas, then you're going to come up with something stale and old nobody else comes up with. But if you go through the tough stuff and you work your way through and say, oh, wow, I just got this great idea that this milk is a milk carton that's got white and black spots on it. And, you know, first thing in the morning, milk products, there you go. And so you come up with something different, something out of the box, something on the carton. Get it? Okay. All right. I'll stop. But anyway, what we're looking at on the screen is this is your templates. Right there it is. You can see it. You can zoom out from it. You can, you can see the whole thing, but you can't do anything. You're not in an editing software. All you're looking at is basically a PDF that's just sitting there. But if what you do is go down to the bottom here. Oh, great. I'm not going to be able to see it. Well, anyway, it is a button that you click on and you download. Oh, wait a minute. Right there it is. Duh. Oops. Download. Did you see that up here? And there it is. Thumbnail template. Now notice the orange. The orange is there because guess what? We are downloading it. And so you need to download this somewhere where you can work with it. Okay. So you can actually click on it. Well, I'm not going to do that because I've already got it saved right here. When you click on it, then you got something that you can work with because you have access to Adobe software and you'll be able to work with it. So I'm going to kind of cancel because you see what to do. You click on this and then you'll download it and it'll show up in your toolbar down at the very bottom. Okay. So I just want to make sure it's canceled. Yes, it's in the canceling mode, so it's taking its time. I'm going to actually minimize this and I'm going to go to Adobe Illustrator. So it'll show up down here and you'll say, well, what's the difference? Well, no, wait a minute, look. Yeah. And I have a whole set of toolbars over here. This is my toolbox. And then look over here. We've got all kinds of what Adobe software calls palettes. These are palettes. These are my swatches palettes. These are colors. This is type. This is a typeface that I could use. Layers, okay, stroke, and I actually can move these. And it's like, well, it's inconvenient because the meeting down here is showing up, but I can actually move that. So that's kind of cool. And all of these palettes are available. And you say, well, what's the big deal about that? Check this out. Go to Windows at the top, click on it. That's how many more. The check marks are the ones that are up. Controls, tools, color, layers, stroke, swatches. But look how many more there are. I mean, you can customize this any way you want. It's really quite phenomenal. But we're good. We're good with what we have. Okay, so I can make a button with this. All right, so, and not only that, I can edit it. Now, you'll notice there's like 2 layers. See where it says layers right here? Let's pull this up here where you can see it. Here's layers, and here's the art graphic design layer, and here's the circle template layer. You say, Mr. Bay, did you make those layers already? Yes, I did. This is the red layer. This is the blue layer. So all the red layer is here. I'm going to poke its eye out. What would happen if I poked your eye out? You wouldn't be able to see, right? Well, watch this. I poke the eye out of that layer and everything on that layer disappears. Then I poke the eye back in, which I don't know if you could do that or not. But anyway, poke the eye back in and there you are. You have everything. Well, I'm going to bring my artwork on another layer, which is up here at the top, which says Art Graphic Design. So this is the art for my graphic design layer. Okay. All right. So that being said, let's kind of minimize that out of the way. We're going to open it back up here in a minute. But I've already gone to the trouble to save because I knew, again, the lag time is really bad. But I've brought in this basketball and this Lakers. The student this morning, Riley from Montcalm, he wanted to do basketball tribute because the basketball playoffs and the Lakers are #1 in the nation. Okay, so great, fantastic. I'm a football guy, but hey, that's all right. And here we are. I've basically already done it, but I want to show you what I did. So let's go to Internet Explorer. Actually, I probably need to change that to Edge. I'm just being honest. And already I've got open Lakers logo. So if you'll look, I'm in Edge, or not Edge, Internet Explorer. I typed Lakers logo. And I got down here and I got this like Frisbee looking thing. And so here's the Frisbee looking thing. And here's the Lakers with the basketball and blah, 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 blah. So there it is. And I brought that one in. And there was also another one, which I really wished I'd gone ahead and kept that open. Let's go ahead and do that. So you can see, how do I find this stuff, Mr. Bay? Well, this is how you do it. Okay, so it's waiting. It's saying, okay, this is a new tab. What do you want to make it, Mr. Bay? Well, what I want to make it is I want to make it Google. So GOO, and you're saying, well, why does google.com come up right away? Because I've done it so many times. So you might have to type in google.com, but I don't have to because it's kind of remembered me doing it so many times. So it's like, okay, Bay, I know where you're going. Okay, so now we're at Google, and let's type in basketball. Yes, okay. Okay, now see, it's coming up because I typed it earlier today. Just basketball is all I want. I don't really want basketball league. Basketballs, see basketballs. Okay, so images, let's go. Images. See why I didn't want to do this like this? Because the lag time. The lag time. If you look up here, it's got that little clock-like thing saying, okay. All right, so here we are in basketball. And you could say, okay, I want to pick up clip art. I think I used a basketball, an actual basketball. Not 100% sure. Okay, I didn't want to go to a site. So I don't want to go to a site. That's not my intent. I'm not trying to go to a site. I just want the graphic. So I'm going to close that. Let's scroll down a little bit. Okay. Oh yeah, I think it said Wilson. Yeah, this is the one. This is the actual one. So obviously I had to fix it. So you see where it says Wilson here, and it says Jimmy Walker. Now here it says 1200 by 1200. Guys, what you're wanting to look for is 1000 by 1000. But that's good enough. But I'm going to have to get rid of Jimmy Walker and Wilson. I need to take that out of there so our message can be read. Okay, so that's got to go. But I wanted you to see, that these images weren't exactly perfect, and you might not want to do that extra Photoshop work. Okay, so I'm just trying to make that really plain to you. Now I've already done the work, but I'm going to show you Photoshop and show you what I had to do. It's like open. Okay, so open. And this is the one I brought in, basketball. And I saved it as basketball. It's a JPEG. 1200 by 1200. So it's high resolution. See all the lag time? Okay, now is the rubber stamp, or they like to call it clone stamp. I like to call it rubber stamp because it looks like a rubber stamp over here. So if you look over to the left where your toolbar is, there's a little rubber stamp, and yeah, there he is. He's all ready to go. Okay, so I'm actually going to clone this area right down here, right over top of Jimmy Walker. So I'm going to say, okay, I want to pick that up here. I'm going to target this area right here, and then I'm just going to start painting right over top of it. Painting. You can tell it's West Virginia, right? Painting. It's actually a diction that's lazy. It's a lazy diction, not addiction. Not addiction. It's lazy. All right. So, okay. There we go. There we go. Now we take this little piece here. Wow. So you can see that it's not a perfect process, and you're going to find, wow, it does a lot of things, but my goodness gracious, it's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. It is not perfect. Okay. And so this might look lighter. So you might have to go over here to the burn tool. This is a burn tool, and just kind of like paint over top of that just slightly. That looks so dark though. I don't like that. I'm not crazy about that. Okay. So I didn't show you that to do it. I already figured it out. So save changes, no. I just wanted to show you there's a lot of work into it if you don't get an image that's already done. Okay. So now let's start putting this thing together. So we're here, right? And I say, okay, I want to place. And where did I save my stuff? In pictures. Okay. So I'm going to remind you where I saved that was in pictures. So we go to libraries, we go to pictures. Remember? There it is. So I want to take my basketball, I want to place it. Wow, it's big. High resolution, guys. It's high resolution. Sure, it's big. Okay, that's okay. We can hold the shift key and we can hold the alt key and we can hold both of those keys together and it will proportionally resize. You say, Mr. Brad, where'd my circle go? Where did my circle go? It's underneath there. If you remember correctly, the circle template is below the art layer. So, well, Mr. Brad, how do you fix that? Well, it's actually really easy. You select the art layer and you pull it down. And now look what we did. Yay. We win, right? That's how it should be in basketball championship, shouldn't it? Just kidding. All right, so now I've got my basketball. Now, I don't want this to move. What if I'm trying to move my Lakers in place and get everything just so, and then I accidentally grab this and move it? It's like, ah! I've wasted a lot of time. So Control Z, undo, it goes right back where it was. But go Object, Lock, Selection. It is selected. Did you see the little blue box around it? It's in the blue, see, blue section. And now it is locked. And we already have the red layer locked, so I can't accidentally move these. But if I wanted to, I can actually lock that layer, select this one, and say, you know what? I don't see that black line very good. Let's make it white. Oh, okay, that's much better. Much better. Now deselect. Notice it would have had a red box around it. This is the red layer. See the red layer? Say, Mr. Bay, what if we wanted to change the color of that layer? Sure. You want to change the blue layer? Do you want to, okay, double click the layer. Here's the blue layer. You say double click the blue and say, okay, how do you want to change that? Green? You like green? I'm going to go green. Actually, let's go a little darker than that green. That's a little bit too light. Say okay. Say okay. It's kind of like an olive green. Oh, I already locked that layer. Okay. So now the green, actually, I'm going to do that. I'm going to change that back to this like neon green. Let's say okay. Okay. Now when I bring in my Lakers, it will be green because it's going to be in the art layer. Let's say place, Lakers. There's the Lakers. See, notice I cut all that frisbee looking thing out. There it is. Ta-da. But wait a minute. I've got all that white in the way. Now what am I going to do, Mr. Bay? Well, we're not going to do that. Go to Photoshop. Notice I went down to the bottom bar and I clicked on Photoshop. Open. Okay, it's where I was working before. Okay. Now, here's everything. It's all set and ready to go. But let's click on white with the magic wand tool. All the white's been selected. Oh, wait a minute. The A hasn't been selected. The R hasn't been selected. So there's things that haven't been selected. So go select, similar. So select more white stuff. And now all the holes are selected. Okay. Now notice the lock. The lock's not going to let me do anything. So I have to double click on it and say, do you want a zero layer? A zero layer means there's nothing behind. There's zero. There's a zero layer. And I hit delete, and you see this checkerboard, and that is the zero layer. You see? Okay. So zero layer's been achieved. I can save this, but can you save it as a JPEG? The answer is no. Don't save it as a JPEG. Now look at all the things you can save it as. BMP, Photoshop. We want a Photoshop document. PSD, Photoshop document. Okay. All right. So save. And now there'll be a blue file in that folder. Let's go ahead and go there. Let's go to Pictures folder and see the blue file. There's the Photoshop document. Now, the Photoshop document has the rights to have this zero layer on it. Okay. So we've got the zero layer. I'm going to deselect. Just click on the outside. Nothing's been selected. Save as. I don't need to save as because save's already taken care of it. I can go ahead and close. See, Mr. Bay, it had the exact same name. Had the exact same name as the JPEG. Yes, but it's a Photoshop document now, not a JPEG. So it doesn't matter that they have the same name. Okay? You're not infringing upon it, and it will not say you want to save over top of this. Place. So now let's go place the Photoshop document, because what happens if I place the JPEG? It'll have a white background on it. Because JPEGs don't have the proprietary right to use a zero layer like Photoshop does. I'm hoping you understood it. Okay. Los Angeles Lakers. Sizing it down. Let's fit it in this orange. Yay. Los Angeles Lakers. Right on the bottom half of the basketball. Now, on the basketball layer, I'm going to go here and I'm going to dim the image out. So, okay, this isn't going to work. Okay, so let's put white in between the two. So let's put a white we're going to put it in between Lakers and the basketball. So let's go to a fill. So Mr. Bay, you covered everything up. You're right. I'll just go over here and say, let's go to transparency. So I want to make it transparent to a degree. So it's not going to be full on orange. Orange, you glad I didn't say banana? That's a joke. Okay, never mind. All right, and let's go ahead and close that window. And this is selected, so I'm going to go control bracket inside towards the letters and bracket in. Now look how my Lakers stands out. Yay, we win. Okay, so now I've got the button circle. Now I've got the basketball. Now I've got the Lakers. Now I could either lock this layer and put the final type to it. Let's do that. That way, none of this. See the little pin with the little slash through it? It means I can't do anything. I can't do anything. Everything's been locked. These two layers are locked. So in the art layer, I want to teach you a principle. When you add a new layer, it adds on top of. So the next layer is going to be in between these two. So let's go click, and right there it is. There's the art layer. There's this layer. This layer is going to be the type layer. I'm going to call it type. So that's the type. And it says green. I don't want another green layer. Let's go with the original blue. And so there we are, red, blue, green. And what do we want to say about the Lakers? Let's do this. Let's say 2020 national champions. No, I tell you what, we've got limited type. Let's go 2020 champions. (2020 champions), center it. NBA, we could do that. NBA, champions, National Basketball Association, champions. All right, boom. Now, what about the type, Mr. Bay? Control T. Whoops. Okay, so we got myriad. Right now is myriad. I don't think that looks very exciting at all. Let's take characters and go all the way over here. And let's see as it changes. You know what? Let's go here. There it is. That looks basketball-ish. Aachen bold. I don't know that I'm pronouncing that right. Now, we know there's too much gap here. I don't like that. So that's what we call kerning type. No, my bad. That's what we call leading. Leading is the lead that they used to put in between the space gap that we used to put in letters, in between letters. We make it sound like I was living back in that day. You all don't believe that, really? Are you serious? Okay, so there we go. Champions. Wow, don't you love it when something works? Let's do this. That 220 really, really fits. So we got lots of room to play with. We'd be in the house. Okay. Okay. So what I could do, Mr. Bay, can you pick up the purple and the left? Oh, check it out. What if we were to do the yellow? Like bring it to the front. You always have to bring it to the front, or I just have a stroke around it. Okay. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let's do that. But we're going to put a stroke. We're going to put a purple stroke on it. So how do we do that? Let's go here. Bam. Okay. So I've got a fill, but I want to make it a stroke. So I'll go here. Let's make it a stroke. Let's see if I can put a stroke on a fill. Okay, let's do that. Let's go here. And I wonder if we'll do that. Nope. Okay. I want to put a stroke. Oh, there it is. Boom. Okay, notice how it cuts into the letters. You say, what do you mean it cuts into the letters? Look. See how it cuts into the letters? Look at that. Okay, but if I tell it, okay, everybody hold on. Put that stroke on the back side, in behind. Okay. Oh, it won't let me. So we have to create outlines. So type, create outlines. Boom. Now it'll let me. Or you could go here and you could go to content and you could say, pull that stroke underneath. Nice. And let's go to about, I don't know, can we go a half a point? Or 3/4 of a point? Let's go 3/4 of a point. Yeah, I can live with that. I can live with that. Okay. Let's go minus 2020 NBA champions. Okay, now we've created a button. Now we've created a button. We've got one example. You get all three, you print it out on the printer, and then we take it over to the light table and trace it in pencil. Then you've got your thumbnails for me to approve. It's not done until you put your name on it. Let's go ahead and do that. Do you all remember what layer that was on? It was on the circle template layer, wasn't it? Yeah, it was on the circle template layer. So here it is. All the others have been locked. So how I would do it was I got to be on that layer. Notice I'm down here. I need to be up here. So name and date, month. This is the 10th month. Today is the 13th. Lucky number 13. And it is lucky number 20. It's funny. Good old lucky number 20. All right. So, ta-da! We're done. 32 minutes in, and I've got an example for you. Okay, guys, that's it. I'll go ahead and cut it off, and hopefully this has been helpful to you. And you can start working on that once you have the your Adobe software loaded onto your machine. So there we go. Let's go ahead and close some of these programs. Photoshop, we're closing Photoshop. I'm going to leave Adobe Illustrator open, and let's go ahead and we're ready to leave the meeting. Thank you very much.